Some Seattle Seahawks related news, and I'm going to call an audible here because it's not on the rundown, but I know from the real-time traffic that I see at PFT, it is the most compelling story right now in the PFT universe, and that is this notion, not just that after the Super Bowl, Jody Allen, who has owned the team for 8 years now after the passing of her brother Paul Allen, reportedly will be selling the team. And the way it works is when he died, basically, she took over the entire estate with the directive that everything be sold at some point with no deadline for when anything was going to be sold.
I remember that,
so there's no one out there, like, for example, if it is you're going to sell the team and you're going to give the money to this person, like, it's all charity. So nobody's saying, damn it, sell the team, I want my money. And also, as time goes by, the value keeps going up. But what we learned over the weekend, courtesy of the Wall Street Journal, is that the NFL, according to the Wall Street Journal, the NFL denies this. The NFL denies it vehemently, and the Wall Street Journal still posted the story, which tells me they must believe their sources, even though the NFL says they didn't do it. According to the report, the NFL fined the Seahawks $5 million for taking too long to sell the team. And this is all coming to a head now. It's a storyline now, and we'll see what happens after the Super Bowl. I think that the Seahawks and the league just want to get through the Super Bowl, and we'll worry about it later. But we knew that the Seahawks are going to be for sale at some point. We just didn't know when. It feels like we're getting closer to the point where it's going to be for sale.
Is there a rule that says they have to sell it in a certain amount of time by the NFL?
Well,
like, how would they be able to levy that fine? And just on top of that, because I want to hear you on both of these, okay, how can they levy that fine? And then, two, I just want to go, what was my second point there? For either way, just answer that part.
The NFL... And this was in the aftermath of the Titans situation when Bud Adams died, and he had 3 branches to the family, and he gave none of them control of the team. They're very insistent now that there always be someone who is in absolute control of the team who can show up at the meetings with the votes. As it relates to Paul Allen, the idea that he died and his wishes are the team will be sold. The NFL initially let the Seahawks continue because there was a clause in their stadium deal that if they had sold the team before May of 2024, 10% of the proceeds would have gone to the state of Washington. So the league was like, okay, fine, you can kick the can for 6 years, but now we got to do something here because the man who owned the team died, and his will says sell the team. We got to sell the team. And probably what's happening is you got potential members of the Billionaire Boys Club constantly knocking on Roger Goodell's door saying, I want to buy a team, I want to buy a team, and these damn values keep going up. I want to buy it before the value goes through the roof. So I feel like the NFL, has something beyond the sanctity of their policies and procedures. They presumably have, and that's one of the things I'm trying to chase down for the Sunday pregame show, they presumably have somebody in mind who's going to swoop in and buy the team.
And also, I mean, just the NFL denying it so vehemently. Usually, to me, that was almost like, wow, that was pretty strong by the NFL.
Here's what happened. I'll take it behind the curtain.
Okay, please.
I posted the story at 2:03 p.m. Pacific time yesterday, 5:03 p.m. Eastern. And I included in there the statement from Andrew Beaton's article that the NFL denied it. And 30 minutes later exactly, got an email from the NFL. We did not find the Seahawks. As we told the Wall Street Journal, we did not find the Seahawks. And I responded and I said, I put that in the story. And they said, you can update to say we said it again.
So that's pretty strange. The NFL doesn't usually do that. When they do that, they're usually, I'm like, well, okay.
And this is the NFL versus the Wall Street Journal.
Exactly.
Right? This isn't the Slapdick Herald.
No doubt about it.
I subscribe to the Slapdick Herald, by the way.
But I thought you were the main writer of it.
But thank you. But anyway... So, and then I followed up. See, because here's the thing, and this is so funny, because I sent multiple emails to the league office this weekend asking for comment about this whole Steve Tisch thing that we may get into at some point this week, and crickets. But the moment there's something there they don't like, boom, here's your. Well, we'll get in touch with the entire.
That's where it makes you want to believe them a little there.
And then, but I followed up and said, well, like, is there something going on here where it's like right church, wrong pew? Like, were you gonna find them, but they said we're gonna sell the team after the Super Bowl? Like, was the fine overturned because they committed in writing to, like, I feel like there's got to be something there that this just doesn't fall out of the sky.
Like there was a talk of it, like we might find you, or we're going to do it,
but you're going to sell the
actually
team after the Super Bowl. And I think they're so concerned about not undermining the Super Bowl and making it a story, which we fully intend to do, because we don't pick the stories pick us, and this is a story now. It's a thing, and I only went down that road because it is far and away the most trafficked story on the website right now.
Okay, so off of that too, if they win the Super Bowl this week, does that add to the value of the football team? Like, just as a fan, I sit here to go, can you charge like an extra $500 million and be like, we won another Super Bowl that added to the legacy of our,
When you're talking about these numbers that generally feel like they're pulled out of thin air and or someone's bunghole,
Yeah.
I think you probably can.
Yeah.
I think you can.
Right.
It's not about the profit and loss sheets at that point. It's about what someone will pay for it. So if there's an extra cachet, I mean, let's look at it this way, and I'm going to go ahead and offend the team that I would put in this bucket, the Browns. Let's say the Browns were for sale right now. The hopelessly dysfunctional, please don't call us dysfunctional, but Jimmy, you kind of are. If they were for sale right now, and the Seahawks are for sale right now, it's a no-brainer.
Well, yeah, you're
It's
right.
a no-brainer.
You're right.
So I just think it adds to the sizzle,
Yep.
and they have the infrastructure in place to keep it going. Now, here's the problem, though. And, we're going to talk about Clint Kubiak here in a second. Like, there's going to be some uncertainty in the organization. As long as they're winning, it's great, but you're going to have a new owner. New owner's going to want to run things the new owner's way. We saw Josh Harris do that with the Commanders. We saw the Walton Penner Group do that with the Broncos, brought in Sean Payton to be the coach. So the moment that the star starts to fade on this current run, that's when things could change, or maybe the new owner just decides, hey, I'm fine with what Paul Allen and Jody Allen did. But that's reality. Because somebody asked me, well, if they sell the team, like, can the owner move it? It's like, hey, I mean, subject to the lease and like whatever else, but all that matters is who's paying the most money.
Yeah.
The directive in Paul Allen's estate is sell it to the highest bidder.
Right.
Highest bidder wants to move the team at some point. The highest bidder is going to move the team at some point. Not that there's any reason to think they would, but so my point is, you get a new owner in there. There's a new owner. They own the team. They're going to do whatever the hell they want.
Right.
And that's just what fan bases have to deal with.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see. I'm interested to see the price tag in general, but either way,
I think it's going to be 10.
Yeah, I would not be shocked.
Over-under's 10.
I would not be shocked. Would be Paul Allen bought it for $194, and here $194 million
In 1997.
and probably get north of $10 billion. And like we talked about to start the show, it's one of the premier organizations in the sport. It's got winning tradition here. They've been very relevant in the NFL for the last 25 years. They have an awesome stadium. They have a facility that was ahead of its time, but now, okay, it's maybe middle of the road, but still really good, right? They were one of the first teams that had like first-class seats in every on their airplane for everybody on the football team, right? They really were one of the first organizations to kind of go, we're going to make players want to be here, and we're going to kind of set them up luxurious-wise. Not everybody wants to move to Seattle, right, and do that. We're going to entice them to come up here and show you, hey, with the 12s, the city loves football, the stadium, right, the facility, our owner's not afraid to spend a little money and make you feel good here. And that's, I think, part of the reason why they've been so special, and hopefully that ex-owner can continue that tradition.
And it wasn't that way. I remember 1996 or thereabouts, whoever owned the Seahawks at the time tried to move them to L.A., and the league squatted on that, and a year later Paul Allen came in, one of the Microsoft co-founders came in and bought the team, and his estate has held it now since 2018. Hi, it's Mike Florio. Thanks for watching PFT on YouTube. Hit subscribe for the latest news and analysis from Pro Football Talk.